Hi. I guess you can't do this from your computer, huh? You got to do it from your phone. I don't.
Yeah, you're trying to do it from your computer.
Yeah.
No worries. And it's like or Facebook doesn't let you do collabs. So I've tried to do the live on there and collab, and you can't do it.
Oh.
So we made it.
Yeah. Whew.
How was your day?
Busy. I have basketball practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So
For your daughter?
yeah, I'm her coach now.
You the coach?
Yeah.
You a hands-on parent for real.
So I be tired and I be playing with her too.
I was about to say, you be getting out there doing the drills and stuff?
I do. I got to show them I still got it.
You a good one. I had steps, so I'm still in my workout clothes.
Look. Hey.
And there was a whole bunch of beginners. If you want to join, it's been a whole bunch of beginners lately.
What's coming?
No pressure. I'm just putting it out there. You be in good company. It's like a whole bunch of beginners.
Man, I don't know how y'all can be doing that. Y'all be stepping and turning and
practice.
I don't
practice. But the fact that you play basketball, it's just muscle memory. Like once you know the moves, muscle memory.
If you say so.
I'm going to scare you. Well, thank you for joining our Instagram Live for Girl Talk.
Absolutely.
For those who do not know, my name is Nicole D. Miller. I'm an author, but I'm also the host of our upcoming event, Girl Talk. Girl Talk is an event that it features panelists that are all women. They're all like heavy hitters, gurus, experts. And our next Girl Talk is very unique because we're going to be talking about women's health. So it's called Taking Care of Us. And it's so needed in our community. So often as women, we're taking care of everybody else. We're neglecting ourselves. And this isn't just about physical health. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. So we have Dr. Shamarah Hutchins, our featured guest. She's blessed us with her knowledge, wealth of experience, the last few panelists. So I just love that she's in our Girl Talk tribe. So Dr. Shamarah, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and how people can contact you.
Absolutely. So, hey, everybody, I'm Dr. Shamarah. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm the owner and operator of the Serene Counseling and Wellness. And so I provide, the traditional mental health, but I also believe there's a concierge approach to mental health. So mental health is not just 9 to 5. And so not only does myself, but other therapists within my organization, we have those non-traditional hours, weekends, late nights, those people who need mental health for second shift, third shift, and aspects like that. So I'm a true believer of a holistic approach. Like she said, it's not just about our mental health, it's about our physical health, our spiritual health, our emotional health. And so you can find me on social media at The Mindologist. I specialize in women's empowerment. I specialize in depression, anxiety. I specialize in mental health in, athletes and also children. So that's how you can reach me. So I am The Mindologist on social media and all platforms.
Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about what I'm looking forward to with this upcoming talk, and then want to hear what you're looking forward to. For me, what I love going deep. I love intimate connections with other women. I love transparency and vulnerability, and I feel like there's power when we release and share intimately. I've dealt with a variety of things that are related to health. In the past, I've dealt with eating disorders, and it took me like a long time to even learn that was connected to my mental health. Like I never knew that. And I think about this generation with young people who deal with body image, self-esteem issues, social media comparison, and all of that. And I'm sure you see a lot of that. So I'd love to hear, what are you most looking forward to in this dialogue, and why do you think it's needed, and how can you relate to this topic?
Absolutely. So I absolutely love Girl Talk. It's just like we just in a room. It's like raw, real. We can all be ourselves. We can get gems from everyone. Every time I go, I learn something new from somebody else. Even though I do give some type of information within it, I absolutely learn something new every time. So I dealt with growing up, I dealt with self-esteem issues and just understanding like where do I belong? Like if I belong, like sometimes I felt awkward and didn't know how to express it. And so I came to find out like that's all about, self-esteem, how I felt about myself, nobody else. And I always think of Cat Williams from Friday. He said it's self-esteem. And so and I always remember that because yes, it's all about how I understand and love myself. So you have to, once you be able to love yourself and understand that self-care is within loving yourself, then that's how you can move to the next level of everything. And so I just look forward to just diving deep into understanding the different aspects of self-care, to go a little deeper, to know that it's not just always getting a manicure or a pedicure or your hair done. It might be that 10 minutes you sit in a car, just what am I doing within sitting in that car? Am I really working my brain, or am I doing something else, thinking about, affirmations? That's part of self-care too. And people don't realize what we pour into ourselves continue to bring about what we believe in ourselves and how we take care of ourselves.
You just brought up like some great points that I hadn't even thought about with this discussion. Self-love, and self-care, and how self-love is needed for our wellness and health. How do you feel like we measure out, because you are a counselor, so you see a lot of people, how do you feel like we measure out as women compared to men, and then BIPOC women compared to non-BIPOC women as far as self-love and self-care?
And so when it comes to self-love and self-care, when it comes to men and women, it amazes me. But just as much as women need self-love, men do too. They just sometimes don't express it as much as women do, because women seems more like to be the fillers, but men need self-love too. And so once I've noticed in therapy, when I have men as clients, they'll come out expressing their emotions more and not realizing, I had some self-esteem issues too. I just didn't know how to express it in a way that I didn't feel like, I was different. And so we all have that same way as well. And so when it comes to just, when it comes to culture, like, being black or not being black or anything in that nature, it's just how we express it. Like, so it seems like when African Americans or BPOC, whatever you want to call it, the new terminology, it's like it seems like when we don't love ourselves, it seems like it's more aggressive. And so when we think about other cultures, it's more passive. Like, they don't feel like, they don't want to say anything, they don't want to do anything. But us, we might be overly aggressive, or we might say something that's very defensive. And so we're speaking the same language, it's just how we express it. And so understanding the culture period is to understand the person and how they feel. And so I always say it's not, it's not how they say, I mean, it's not what they say, it's how they say it, but they're giving you some emotions within that of how they're saying it.
So, okay, so an example of maybe an urban Black woman, may not be a soft delivery
Mm-hmm.
with how she feels, and maybe it's, lashing out in anger,
Mm-hmm.
but underneath it's like pain, and it's a cry for help, and it's like, I just need a nap right
Mm-hmm.
now.
And people are like, you're just an angry Black woman.
Yes.
No, how I'm expressing myself. It's not so much that I'm an angry Black woman, but you don't know where this anger came from. Like it's emotions with it. So that's the only emotion that I know. So that's the emotion I'm going to express. As humans, or even all humans, don't know how to understand or how to express their emotions. I can ask how are you feeling? The first word somebody's gonna say is I'm good. That's not a feeling.
That's good. Yeah.
At all. If
Yeah.
you look if you look at a feeling chart, you're not gonna see good on there.
So that means that our society is conditioning us to not even be in touch with our feelings, because we're supposed to have the proper response of I'm good. And honestly, that makes me think of religious cultures and church cultures, you know, when they say, how are you? I'm blessed and highly favored, you know? So it's like you're programmed to not be honest about how you're really feeling. How would somebody respond if you said, I had a really hard day today, girl? Like, I just broke up with my man. I found out he was cheating on me. They'd be like, okay, you need a therapist. Yeah. But I mean, how much more freedom and healing will we get if we're just honest?
Absolutely. Social norms, I always say, we always go to the social norms, what society believe we should say. But honestly, if I express my feelings, that's how I want to express it. Like, so if we start to do things that we know feels right, we change the social norm aspect. That's how I truly feel. If somebody asks me how I'm feeling, and if I'm not having a great day, my day has been very stressful.
Yeah.
And we can't always take that as negative. I mean, we always think about the negative and not the positive. I can just be expressing my emotion. It was stressful. And then you might be like, well, what's so stressful about it? And then we can start having a conversation and people can understand that, wow, she just said that, all of that. And let me start talking too.
And I think that when we're not honest, we don't get our needs met. Mm-hmm. So when I ask you, like, how was your day, Dr. Shamarah? You'd be like, I'm tired. I appreciate it because I'm able to tend to you according to how you're feeling. And I know Ari was on our live last week. She was sick, you know, so I'm keeping that in my mind so that we don't go too long, you know, even though she delivered and she was amazing. But when we're honest about how we are, the other person can meet our need. Mm. And I think that that's a good tip. So that just went somewhere else. Thank you for that. That was great.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, saying you were written down. It's great. See, this is girl talk, you guys. Just off the cuff. One of the things I'll ask about is, how did you find your purpose in what you do? How did you discover this as your passion?
So I always knew that I wanted to help people. I always go back to the Cosby Show. I always see Bill being a doctor, you know, Felicia Rashad being a lawyer. But I'm like, you know, I'm going to be that doctor because I always want to help people. I didn't know in what aspect I was going to help people, but I've always been that person, you know, to give my last to somebody or, you know, go with the helping hand to another. And so when I decided that I wanted to do medicine, I was like, okay, I'm going to go to medical school. I'm going to try this out. And I'm like, well, this ain't too much of helping. You know, I'm telling somebody, come back in 10 days or 14 days. If they feel better, take an aspirin and, you know, keep it moving. And so when I found the field of psychology, I'm like, I can be with people for longer times, you know, talk to them, help them navigate life, help them work through different situations, but also have myself fulfilled because I'm seeing things change. And I'm that person that like to turn a diamond from, you know, coal. I like to see stuff, you know, people be like, oh, that person ain't doing nothing. And next thing you know, I'm coming in like, this person's doing absolutely amazing because I took the time to get to know the person and not just assume about the person. And so, I knew that was my purpose, my passion. I knew it was my purpose when I started to apply to grad school and no doors were closed. Everything that I did, it was just like people had horror stories about their dissertation. I'm like, nope, my dissertation chair was cool. He got stuff back to me. We finished in no time. I ain't have to switch. And I'm just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. When I was supposed to find, you know, internships, I had to find them myself, but stuff started to just open. You know, I got emails coming to me, and I'm just like, this must be what I'm supposed to do because I didn't have any hard time.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I love that. It took me a long time to realize that when there was a no, it was really a yes. So when there was a closed door, it's because God was going to open a different door. Because I would take it as rejection. I would take it personal. I would be frustrated, especially if it was a position I really wanted. Or my mindset was so linear with, well, my degree should open this door. Not understanding that I'm called to be a creative, so my bookkeeping business is at a standstill because that's not where I'm supposed to flourish. It served its purpose. So kind of learning in that regard. So we're going to be doing Girl Talk Sunday, March 24th, 6 to 8 $5 tickets at Eventbrite. Dr. Shamarah Hutchins is going to be there. She's our mental and emotional health advocate. We have an expert in the field. You guys need to come through. You've heard it here first. She's an amazing woman with a beautiful heart, a beautiful spirit, and has much to add to the Girl Talk conversation. So those of you who are interested, we will be hearing from you after our 1-hour panel discussion. We have 30 minutes of Q&A, and then there's time for networking and fellowship. So come around these heavy hitter female leaders, celebrate Women's Month all month long, all year long. We always looking for opportunities to celebrate women.
Yes.
Are there any last words or anything else you want to share, Dr. Shamarah, before we end and close out?
Absolutely. I enjoy just being in a room of girl talk. So if you're in Cleveland, surrounding areas, Akron, Youngstown, wherever, just come out because we do have a great time. It's a lot of networking. It's a lot of laughing. It's even a lot of crying, but that's what we need to do to heal. So I look forward to always being in a room, whether a panelist or, sitting, listening to the panel. So I always thank you for inviting me and thinking of me.
Of course. And I forgot to shout it out where we're going to be. Unbar Cafe off Larchmere. Unbar is one of our sponsors, as is Mas Lorraine, hosted by Alicia Ellis. I know she was in the room. I don't know if she's still in the room. And we have Teen Enterprise. So we are coming with it this time around to make sure we deliver and just give you guys resources, tools. My heart is that we never leave these conversations the way that we came in. And I do believe in the power of sisterhood. So thank you, Dr. Shamarah, for being a part of the Girl Talk Tribe. And we will see you when it's time, when we go live.
All right.
Girl.
See you soon.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Yeah.